Donald Trump makes his pitch to union and non-union auto workers in Michigan. When America's Daniel Baldwin has more on how Trump rose to the occasion.
Biden's mandate isn't a government regulation. It's a government assassination of your jobs and of your industry. The auto industry is being assassinated. And it makes no difference what you get. I don't care what you get in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 5 weeks. They're going to be closing up and they're going to be building those cars in China and other places. It's a hit job on Michigan and on Detroit.
45th President Donald Trump skewering the Biden administration's electric vehicle mandate in Clinton Township, Michigan, Wednesday evening. President Trump skipping the second GOP debate once again to stand up for union auto workers who feel abandoned by the big three auto manufacturing companies and the D.C. elite. Trump spokeswoman Liz Harrington joins us now. Liz, why was sending this message to the striking United Auto Workers and other auto manufacturing workers so crucial at this time?
Well, it was so important because President Trump is once again providing leadership that's so sorely lacking in this country right now. And this fight is really, I think, emblematic of what's going on in the country, which is you have a corrupt ruling class that has sold this country out. And the only leader who has stepped up to the plate for workers of any kind has been President Trump. He delivered for all Americans in his historic first term. And his second term, he's going to deliver even in a major more way. And I think his speech was just so powerful. It had such a contrast to what Biden did with only showing up for 12 minutes just for a photo op. President Trump brought substance, real leadership, and a real message to the workers to say, your union leadership, we have to back America First policies and get this country back on track, because this fight, even if they get some wins, it won't matter if the electric vehicle mandate stays in place. That means the auto industry is destroyed forever. It will never come back. It was coming back under President Trump. And he made a very stark promise, we're going to ban child mutilation surgeries. We're not going to ban the gasoline engine, the combustion engine. And that's where he was speaking from, a factory that's been so important for the auto industry and really for freedom as a whole. And we're talking about freedom of movement. We know the ruling class does not want that. They want to ban gasoline cars and the combustion engine. And we're just not going to allow that. And President Trump delivered that message and really had tens of thousands of people rallying around him in the state, cheering him on.
Liz, you mentioned Biden ended up speaking at the picket line for a whopping 87 seconds, but he only came after President Trump's visit was announced. Does Biden's impromptu, hastily planned visit underscore that not only Michigan is in play in 2024, but also these union workers who largely make up the Rust Belt blue wall that the Democrat Party have reliably used in past elections?
Absolutely. And President Trump is the only candidate who's going to attract those voters over to the Republican side. And he's the only one that brings in new voters to the party. And of course, just like East Palestine, it was the same thing. President Trump actually showed real leadership. Joe Biden still has never gone there, but he was forced to show up in Michigan for a fight that, seemingly in years past would be a Democrat fight. Well, not anymore, because the American people see that both parties have abandoned the American people. It's largely been a uniparty operating out of Washington for their own interests, selling this country out. As President Trump said, the only way Biden has ever gotten his hands dirty is from dirty money from China and other foreign countries. And that's exactly what this debate is about.
Liz, you read my mind a little bit. You mentioned President Trump's visit to East Palestine. It felt like that was sort of a turning point, a launch pad, if you will, for his reelection bid. Trump standing up for a group of Americans who were abandoned and left to fend on their own by Joe Biden and the D.C. elite. Was this speech, from your perspective, cut from a similar cloth?
Absolutely. And, we talked so much about it back in 2016, the forgotten man and woman are forgotten no more, when President Trump made his way to the White House. And really, he is the only leader who has shown up for the forgotten man. He's the only one who stood up for our country, our real interests, America first. And when it comes to the border, when it comes to trade policies, and you spoke about it last night, energy independence. How many foreign wars, these endless wars of just sending young Americans to die for no interest of the United States whatsoever, aside from a small segment of the ruling class. It's despicable. And President Trump has continued to deliver on those promises he made all the way back in 2016. And he's always going to show up for the average American. That's what this is about. This is about our great country, about people that still want to live in a free country, who love this great land, and who just want a shot at the American dream. And President Trump will always deliver that. He's always going to fight for that. And this speech was just extremely powerful in showing up for these union workers, to show that there's a real choice here. We can make America great again, but really 2024 is the last shot to do it, because otherwise we're going to lose this great country.
Trump spokeswoman Liz Harrington, thank you so much for joining us on One American News. We always appreciate your insight.
Great to see you.
We'd like to welcome you to our new home for uncensored news and hard-hitting talk shows. If you're tired of cable companies and social media giants chipping away at your most basic and important right, freedom of speech, by shadow banning, demonetizing, censoring, and policing every single one of your posts, then One America News on Locals is just what you've been looking for. Finally, you'll have the freedom to express your point of view and stay connected with like-minded fellow patriots. And the best part is, OAN on Locals is only $5 a month. All of our credible, honest, unbiased reporting, ad-free talk shows, and exclusive content, all at the fraction of the cost of cable. So to watch, just click the join button to get the news you can't get anywhere else.